Shalom, Mad Freedom Jewish Center. This is Rabbi Menashe. Just wanted to share a word of Torah in honor of this week's Torah portion, parshat Lech Lecha. A couple of years ago, as part of our Randolph Ecumenical Council, our interfaith work, we did a round-robin rotation of going to different people's houses of worship, different faith communities' houses of worship, synagogue, church, and we went to a mosque in Morris County, the Morris County Islamic Center. And while we were there, the imam led the discussion and opened up the conversation about the Abrahamic faiths. And so the reason why Abraham was chosen to be the father of the Abrahamic faiths was because of his respect and humility towards his father. His father Terach was also a man of faith, but a different faith. Abraham was the monotheist. Terach was an idolater. And still, Abraham respected his father and treated him with dignity. And that's why, according to the imam, Abraham was chosen to lead the Abrahamic faith. And then they said, and here is Rabbi East, he's going to talk about Judaism. And I said, it's funny that you mentioned Abraham and his father. And I shared the famous midrash, which says that Abraham's father Terach was a shopkeeper who sold idols to the locals. And one day the father leaves Abraham in charge of keeping stock, of taking care of the items. And Abraham goes around, he was already a budding monotheist and probably a difficult kid, and goes around and smashes all the idols and puts the hammer in the hands of the largest idol. And Father Terach comes back in and says, Avraham, what happened here? And Avraham says, I don't know, Abba. It was that the largest idol over there smashed all the other idols. And the father turns to Avram and says, Avram, you know that's impossible. It's just stone. It's inanimate. And Avram turned back and said to his father, exactly. Then why do you worship it? And I said, that's a little bit more like the Avraham and the Abraham in Judaism. And very different presentation than the Islamic understanding of Abraham. And that to me is it's a funny story in a way, but it's also representative of Avraham and Sarah are the forefather and foremother. They are called Ivrim. They are called the Hebrews because they looked at things from the other side. They didn't simply present and follow along with the others. They always were different in the way that they approached the world. They were contrarian. They were sometimes disagreeable. They would dispute each other and God. And it's part of their style, their personality, is that they represent something different than what is known and familiar and common. And that they're proud of who they are. And that's so important to our relationship to Abraham and Sarah and to our faith. As a Jewish people, we are Ivrim. Ivri Anochi, says Jonah, when he is approached on the boat. And they wonder, where is your God? Who are you? Where are you from? Why are we suffering through this storm now all of a sudden? And Jonah says, Ivri Anochi, I am a Hebrew. I'm different than everyone else around me. And that has caused, and that has been a source of tension for Jews throughout history, to be sure, that we look at ourselves as being other and apart from, but it's also our charm, it's also our gift, is that there is a unique Jewish voice about the world. What we have in the world, what we experience in the world, what life shows us now is there's not a monolithic way of looking at it. There is a diversity and a complexity. And that's what we're called upon. Parshat Lech Lecha is Lech Lecha, me'artzecha, u'miwoladetecha, mibeit avicha, el ha'aretz asher areka. Go for yourself, as Rashi said, lehanatcha, for your own benefit. This is an opportunity to show yourself. And the Midrash talks about the idea that Avraham left. It was like an incense perfume canister was sealed shut, and Abraham was this odor which couldn't escape. The beauty of the smell couldn't get out. And when he walked out, there was a smell, there was an odor, there was a presence, an essence that could be felt and appreciated. That's what you have to bring. Go on your journey and share who you are. Ivri anochi, ivriim anachnu. We are Hebrews. We come from a different perspective. We are entering a big moment, a monumentous event. Every 4 years is a big event in this country, but it's a particularly big event, as we all know. It's been a very exciting and charged season now, and hopefully the Jewish community will be able to lend a voice that will be helpful in whatever happens. That no matter what, we have a different perspective. Our view is hopefully shedding light, is bringing warmth to the world, to those around us. So I pray that we're going to have a peaceful next couple of weeks, and that we remember, never forget ourselves, never forget the fact that we are Ivrim, that there's a Hebrew message, that we are here to bring Or La'olam, a light to the world. Shabbat Shalom.